Hi, you're watching Floyd Steinberg's YouTube channel. This is the Ono Sendai by Spherical Sound Society, a drum computer based on FM synthesis. So if you think that's interesting, please join me in this video. Here we go. This video kindly was sponsored by TESMEN, who sent me their TSM522S multimeter for use on my channel. This multimeter has a bright and big display and features a mode that will select the correct settings for whatever part you're checking automatically. Apart from the usual voltage and resistance modes the standard multimeter provides, this device can also check continuity, frequency, capacitors and diodes. You can also detect live wires from a distance, which is my favorite feature here. And it has an LED lamp built in. So when the parcel with the Ono Sendai arrived, I had a hard time getting into it because, as it turned out, it was damaged in transfer. I first suspected the potentiometers were not working, which would have been a thing I could easily fix myself, but using the TSM522S I could quickly prove the potentiometers were just fine. Therefore, the multiplexer chip was the culprit. So I had to send back the synth and wait for a replacement. A link to both devices is in this video's description, and thanks to TESMEN for sponsoring this video. Okay, so this is the Ono Sendai FM-based drum computer and sequencer, and it starts doing its thing once you turn it on. This is based on the Raspberry Pi 2040, I think. I hope you can see this. There's the processor. Let's connect the power cable and hear how it sounds. So obviously you can stop the playback of the sequence if you turn the tempo knob here all the way to the left. And when you do that, the Ono Sendai will listen to the clock input here, so you can connect external sequences which support this protocol. Let's take a look at the knobs here. So I'll start the sequence by turning the leftmost knob here. Obviously this controls tempo. I like to keep it relatively low at 55 beats per minute. There are some buttons here as well. This is the record button. You can hold this down and twist the knobs to record parameter changes while the sequence is running. You can also use this to create random new sequences by holding this down and pressing the LFOB button here. And now there's the new sequence. And the character of the sequence is influenced by the color knob. So if you turn this all the way here and do that again, it sounds slightly different. Let's take a look at the other knobs. So we've got oscillator here, which is used to select oscillators that are being played in the sequence. So if I turn this, you can see the sequence stops and it plays back one sound. But if I use the record knob and twist this button, then I can overwrite the notes in the sequence like this. So here's the new drum sequence I just created by recording it. Pretty cool. Okay, so what else have we got? We have got LFO control. This is LFO speed. And we can also control LFO depth. LFO only has effect on some of the sounds, not on all of them. So let's use these sounds. There you can hear it. Now this is full LFO, no LFO. Down here we have coarse and fine tuning. And then here's decay. As I already said, you can hold down the record button and record movements of this, so let's take advantage of this. And then we've got the pitch envelope. One more thing you can do is you can push this button here and then choose from different styles of patterns. So there's some sort of algorithm on which those patterns are created. We've got the style number 5 at the moment. I'll start the sequence now. And now I changed this to 7, for example, and then you can confirm your change by pressing this button again. Or let's use number 1. Right, I'll connect my RetroKit's RK008 sequencer now to this, so we can see how the Ono Sendai performs within the setup of external hardware. Okay, now the clock out of the RK008 sequencer is connected to the clock in of the Ono Sendai here, and now I can do the following thing. I can just press play and the sequence will start. By the way, this is now connected to a reverb and delay pedal. Now I've set up my Yamaha EX5 here to have an arpeggiator running at 60 beats per minute. I hope you can see this, it's here. And the tempo of the sequence is 120 beats per minute, so this is half the speed here. Now, yeah, I can play a bass line, for example. And chords. Now using the sustain pedal under the desk, I can just hold the chord here and manipulate the drum sounds. Or play some melodies. Yeah, I guess you get it. So yeah, that's the Ono Sendai, a simple but fun gadget from Spherical Sound Societies. And I spoke to Juan and asked him if it's possible to implement a step sequence on this, because I think a lot of people would find use in such a thing. And he said that's a very good idea and he will add it with the next firmware update, so here's hoping. All in all, it's a nice gadget, it's a fun gadget. It's not a classic drum computer, so you don't go about and create sequences, but as all of Spherical Sound Society's other gadgets, this is about finding and exploring sounds and rhythms and discovering things by accident. So if that's what you're searching for, I can recommend this. It's not too expensive as well, but if you're looking for a more traditional way of creating drum tracks, there are other cheap options on the market, which will suit your needs more. Yeah, and that's it for today. The Ono Sendai, an FM drum synthesizer and sequencer made by Spherical Sound Society. All in all, this certainly is a nice sounding and creative tool that keeps getting updated regularly. One wish I have at the moment is I could have more control over how the notes fall into the sequence itself. Other than that, twisting the knobs and pushing the buttons and seeing what you can find there often is fun and inspiring. The Ono Sendai is available from Spherical Sound Society's Etsy page, which I'll link in this video's description. So if you think this was a good YouTube video, please click like and subscribe. As always, thanks for watching and see you again very soon. Bye bye.